First of all, I would like to thank our Honorable Chief Minister Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu, my colleagues and my floor leader for giving me this opportunity to speak on this very important topic representing Telugu Desam Party. So, the word Akshaya, which means one thing that can never be diminished. And this song, Vande Mataram, was written on the auspicious day of Akshaya Navami. And from then on, it has become eternal song of our country. This is a song that represents courage and hope. The song that represents countless memories of India's collective consciousness. Sir, it was in 1896 when Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore sang this song in the Congress session. And from then on, it has entered
Please be
India's
seated. Honorable members, please be seated.
And in 1905, when thousands of people marched during the partition of Bengal with the slogans Vande Mataram, this was the time when it entered India's political bloodstream. Sir, we should, as our Honorable Prime Minister mentioned today, that we should never forget few contributions made by our greatest people. One such is Madam Bikaji Kama, where she rose the tricolor flag which had Vande Mataram on it abroad. And sir, Madan Lal Dingraji, who walked towards the gallows, and the last word he uttered was not out of fear, but it was out of immense devotion, that is Vande Mataram. And also Savarkarji, when he was put to Kalapani and brought to death, the only word from the beginning he uttered was Vande Mataram. A small village from Andhra Pradesh, that is Peddakarayapalli. It was the first village to attain Swaraj and shook empires in the nation. This song, Vande Mataram, not only inspired freedom movement, but also shaped the freedom movement and also fused the spiritual awakening and also political awakening and spiritual strength. Sir, we all read history from the childhood, and I'm sure everyone are aware of Warren Hastings. I would like to quote a saying of his to George Cole Brooke in Glade's Memoir, Volume 1, that soon there is going to be destruction by the sadhus and sannyasis and also freely wandering fakirs. And those people who has infested annually the empires and provinces. Look at the word he has used. He has used that our sadhus infest the empires. And soon this was forgotten. Our sadhus were compared to looters and robbers. But this was again remembered soon after the birth of Anandamath. And yet we speak about Warren Hastings, but not about the sadhus who has resisted the empires. Sir, this was the Macaulay effect, what our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji wanted to remove. And this was the Macaulay effect that our PM was talking about. Sir, the Macaulay mindset has removed greatest people in our history. And one such is Uyalavada Narasimha Reddy, who belongs to Koyalakuntla, that is in my constituency. And I'm proud to say that my mother was born in Koyalakuntla and my grandfather and great-grandfather was elected representatives of this Koyalakuntla. And also my forefathers have participated in the freedom struggle. And his name was deleted from history textbook. Pingali Venkaya, our son of Andhra Pradesh, who has designed national flag, one of the major contributions were removed from the history. It was only after the announcement of our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji about Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, where all these people were again remembered, and now we see our youngsters, the patriotism filled in their bloodstream and walking towards Vikasit Bharat. This is the demacalization what our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji did. And so we sing this Vande Mataram with great pride and zeal, irrespective of religion, caste, creed and sex. It mentions that you bow to the motherland and raise to the nation. And sir, I don't know why, but few people from the country and few leaders sitting here can't bow to the motherland. And maybe it's perhaps their foreign DNA that is resisting them, and that is resisting them from not even coming to the session today, not even participating in such an important discussion, Vande Mataram. And sir, Vande Mataram song mentions about our orchards, mentions about our rivers. It also talks about not just to the kings and rebels, but to the farmers, then to the children of our country, and also teachers. And a state where it was composed, and a state where it was a war cry, where the patriotic, it entered the patriotic and political bloodstream. And I don't know why the state that claims that Durga Ma's motherland, and also the state where Durga Puja is performed every day, they never questioned Congress for removing great divine words such as Durga, Vani and Kamala from the Vande Mataram. Everyone knows who has done it in 1937. We all have list of leaders belonging to Nehruji's cabinet that objected to Vande Mataram. Sir, our former President Abdul Kalam ji, he sang this song with great pride and said, do not look at this song as a religious song, but look at it as an inspirational song where every Hindu and Muslim of our country should sing it with great pride. Our A.R. Rahman, music maestro, in his album Ma Tujhe Salam, has sung this Vande Mataram and created ripples in the entire nation. And also, Dr. Rajendra Prasad ji has mentioned that the national song Vande Mataram should be equally honored with that of national anthem. And every Hindu and Muslim of our country has appreciated to this statement. And sir, I appreciate and I'm thankful to our Honorable Prime Minister for celebrating 150 years of Vande Mataram. And this 150 years is not just, this journey reflects our country itself. This journey of 150 years reflects the courage of our forefathers. It reflects the sacrifice of our villages and also voice of millions of our country. And this is not just a musical note or lyrics. It is about the power it has got, which fills every Indian soul with patriotism. And sir, this speech is not from a piece of paper, but it's from my heart. And I'm proud to say here, and I bow to my motherland and also raise to the nation. And standing in this parliament, in my country's parliament, I say Vande Mataram and Bharat Mata ki Jai. Thank you.
Thank you. Sri Devesh Chandra Thakur ji.
Member Sri P.V. Mithun Reddy ji.
Thank you, ma'am, for letting me participate in this discussion on demand for grants. Madam, in our state of Andhra Pradesh, the state debt is rising at an alarming level. The difference in the growth of revenue and the increase in debt there's a huge mismatch. And if you see, madam, after the new government has formed in the past 18 months, the debt of the state is 2,66,000 crores. It is the highest in the country that any state has borrowed. And if you see the previous government's debt for the 5 years, that is YSRCP government's debt for the 5 years, that is from 2019 to 24, is 3,32,000 crores according to the parliament minister's answer. The debt is really alarming. And if you see the growth of debt, it is growing at a CAGR of 22% in Andhra Pradesh right now, ma'am. It's the highest in the country, and the previous government was just 13.5%. Madam, the government is borrowing desperately through any possible means. If you see recently, Andhra Pradesh Mineral Development Corporation raised debt through NCDs, through private people. They borrowed at 9.3%, which is very, very high for a government to borrow. And they gave a commission of 1.5%, which is coming to almost 150 crores to private people. Madam, the worst part is the part of the conditions in this NCDs is that private people get access to the consolidated fund of the state. Imagine, madam, how can private people draw money without the government permission or without any official people? And most recently, right now, the Andhra Pradesh Beverage Corporation Limited has again called for NCDs for 5,950 crores, or roughly below 6,000 crores. And again with the interest rate of 9.9+% and a commission of 1.5%. Madam, I would like to recall that in the previous 2019 and 24, the Finance Secretary wrote to all the states saying that any borrowing you do through government subsidiaries to the corporations, it will be a part of the Article 293 of 3 of the Constitution, which says that all the borrowings, indirectly if you do also, it will be in the part of net borrowing ceiling, part of the NBC. And even in August 22, 2022, the Finance Secretary wrote to the Chief Secretary of Andhra Pradesh saying that the then government wanted to borrow same through NCDs through the Beverage Corporation Limited. They said this is going to be part of the borrowing limit of the state. So even you borrow through your corporations, it is going to be part of the borrowing limit of the state. Madam, right now, I would like to ask the government. Right now, the current TDP government has borrowed through APMDC and now they are borrowing through Beverage Corporation Limited. My question to the Honorable Finance Minister through you is, has the rules changed then and now? When the previous government wanted to borrow, they said it is part of the borrowing limits. Is it part of the borrowing limits now or not is what we want a clarification from the government. Point 2 is that when the government banks are prepared to give at 6% interest rate, why do you want to borrow from private parties at 9.3%? Why do you want to waste public money and why do you want to give commissions, 1.5% commission running into hundreds of crores? Is this not a scam, ma'am? This has to be taken up seriously. And the third part is that similarly between 2014 and 19, when TDP was in power, it was part of the NDA, they overborrowed, and then the next government, it was again deducted in the next YSRCP government between 19 and 24. Madam, and I want to ask the government, is it not a very bad precedent letting private people have access to the consolidated fund of the state? Imagine all the borrowers have access to the consolidated fund of the state. Everybody is going to put condition that we want this condition to borrow to the state, to lend to the state. What is the situation in the future? State will not have any access. There won't be any access for the government to control it. So this is a very bad precedent. The center has to step in and make sure that such conditions are not put up by the states. And we want the Honorable Finance Minister in her reply to talk about this bonds which the AP government is raising and which is against whatever rules set by the central government themselves, whatever letter the central government has written to our state. And coming to Manrega, ma'am, for the past 7 months, the labor component is pending in our state. The center, when we met the Honorable Minister, they said that the fund is ready, you have to talk to your state. Madam, the labor component has to be paid in 3 days. The Act says the labor component has to be paid in 3 days. How can the labor sustain for 7 months? And there are almost 90 lakh active laborers registered in the state and who are dependent on this. What is the future of, how do they sustain and how do they survive, ma'am? And the worst part is from the Telugu Desam party, we have a minister who handles rural development from the center, ma'am. Mr. Chandrasekhar, I don't know if he's here or not. What is he doing? I don't know, ma'am. Even in his own constituency, the Manrega payments are pending for the past 7 months. This is a shame to our state and it's really pathetic. Madam, we demand that Manrega payments be released soon and the minister, at least somebody put some sense into the minister's head and make at least in his own state, the neighboring states of Telangana and Karnataka are much better off in Manrega compared to our state. And Madam, we oppose the privatization of Visakhapatnam steel plant. Systematically, step by step, it is being privatized. Our party demands that Visakhapatnam steel plant should not be privatized, and it should be, the government should support it with mines, madam. Without mines being allotted to Visakhapatnam steel plant, it will not be viable, and selling it at dead cheap rate is not an option. We oppose the privatization of Visakhapatnam steel plant, and this current government, it has borrowed 2,66,000 crores in Andhra Pradesh. They need just 4,000 crores to complete all the 17 medical colleges, which the previous government has taken up. Now, this government is planning to sell all this all these medical colleges to private people in the name of PPP, which we are opposing, ma'am. We asked the central government to step in. Already the central government earlier had given funds for 3 colleges. And now the rest of the other colleges also, we demand that central government step in and stop this process. Anywhere we go in Andhra Pradesh, ma'am, anywhere, any private hospital and any private, government hospital. You see thousands of people around a government hospital and we don't find people outside because they are all profit motivated. So healthcare should be in the hands of the government, and we demand that the privatization of medical colleges not be there. And one more, the last issue, ma'am, Kadapa Bangalore railway line. Madam, the recently Honorable Railway Minister said, I am ready to do this project if your state provides the matching grant. Madam, TDP government is part of the NDA government. Through you, I demand the government, they provide the matching grant and the funds for complete project has to be given by the center because TDP and BJP is one and part in the state. So we demand that Kadapa Bangalore line, which is important, to be taken up. Thank you very much, ma'am.
माननीय सांसद धर्मेंद्र यादव जी.